Guys, this is the last day drifting this car as it sits. What we're doing, where we're going, we can't bring the R34. We're going to Formula Drift Japan, you guys. Fresh chassis that we can weld straight onto, and then we'll do all our fabrication work. Welcome to Haugen Racing, guys. So this is the first episode of the build series for the R32. You think we're crazy? Of course we're gonna do a build series on this thing. And we're on a ridiculously short timeline. What is the date today? July 7th. So July 7th, this car needs to ship out to Japan December 1st. Ideally, November 1st, car's like done. Like stickers are on it, like we're going to the track. September, no. September, August, we got like 3 months and 3 weeks. Yeah, it's gonna get outrageous. But we got it back from acid dip. Everyone's heard of sandblasting, right? Well, there's another process. We can actually put the whole car in a vat of acid. It's pretty ridiculous, actually, and it smells like
It smells toxic.
Overall, the plan for this car is simple, functional, and stylish. Some of the things we're gonna forego is like cool suit,
cause that ain't no bitch.
Breather system, that's more wiring, more weight, more expense. Get rid of that. So without further ado, we gotta get a little work done. So let's chop this bitch up. We got the whole front end cut off. We just kind of want to get like the mass out of the way, and then we can kind of figure out like the final trim. But JMO went ahead and put the cross member in and the motor, so we kind of get an idea, make sure our exhaust manifold's gonna work, the turbo's gonna fit, all that stuff. And so far, it's looking really good. So it's a Pro Mod. Oh God, fender. Whoops. So it's a Pro Mod manifold. It's for our chassis specifically. We thought it would fit pretty well. So the turbo's on there, the motor's in, and then we were kind of trying to figure out, do we put the fenders and the hood on? Because we wanted to see if we're gonna have any clearance issues with this. It's 1.5 inches taller above the water pump. Bad news though, I wanted to try to use the intercooler piping, because that was a lot of work and really expensive, but it just does not put the intercooler in any kind of position we can use. We're gonna mount the intercooler exactly where we want it, kind of figure out either modifying that piping or starting new, which sucks, but it's kind of where we're at up here.
Later that same evening.
What are you about to cut the back end off?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start with the whole lower tray. I'll cut this out, and then I'll work my way out to the quarters and all the way to the back, so.
For Formula Drift rules, you have to leave this like back windowsill thing, but you can basically trim everything else. It's kind of a silly rule in a way, but it is what it is. But you're free, basically, like the most rearward suspension point, you can cut off back from there. So basically, subframe, the rear subframe mounts are the furthest back, so we'll cut just kind of right after that, cut everything. Gone too far.
I don't even want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore.
Give up.
I'm gonna put it back on.
Put it back to stop.
You just cut a Skyline to pieces.
That's a heavy ass piece, guys.
So it is.
It's no joke. All right, so we got the whole freaking rear end trimmed up. It's just like the initial cuts. We have to come back, kind of smooth everything out. Jim was just grabbing the fuel cell cage here. There's basically one of two positions we can do. This is one that we're both kind of leaning towards.
This will all be held by the window. It should be pretty strong. And then to pull the whole cell out, we just have to pull the window. Might even run that firewall right to this.
You guys, I'm like nerding out right now, so we're trying to kind of figure out where everything's gonna sit. Look at the NOS bottle. Oh. Like the freaking like 10-year-old. Oh my God, I've red all over me. I'm melting. I just got my hair recolored yesterday and it is just out of control. So just don't mind this. But anyways, the 10-year-old me is just wilding out about having nitrous and like actual NOS. It's so sick. Okay, so since we are using the motor that was originally intended for the Tacoma, we went over kind of the details on the motor in a Tacoma build video like way back, but I want to do that again for you guys. It's probably a totally different set of viewers for this series, as well as it's been a super long time. So let's do that. So I got my notes here because I can't remember everything off the top of my head. Essentially, it's an RB30 block. They're a single overhead cam, and so what's became kind of a common thing is you put a dual overhead cam head on it, and then you essentially have a 3-liter RB motor. It has Nitto forged pistons, rings, billet connecting rods with ARP bolts, and then the head's obviously ported and polished. It has SuperTech valve springs and retainers. We did intake and exhaust valves. So we were gonna run 91 and Ignite Red in the Tacoma, and that's why we have 2 fuel rails and 2 sets of injectors. We're not gonna do that in this car. It's always gonna be on Ignite Red. So I guess we'll just block off this one side, which is kind of annoying. We also have this crazy like drag racing style exhaust manifold, and then a GT42 turbo. That turbo is good for like 1200. We're also gonna have nitrous. Thank you, NOS at Holly. I mean, this thing's gonna be pretty out of control, and honestly, in some ways, I'm kind of more excited to have it in this car than the Tacoma. If I could have 2 of them and finish the Tacoma build, I would. So that's pretty much the motor. We're also doing drive-by-wire. You can just use a 350Z gas pedal, and that makes it really nice. So you can do anti-lag and all that good stuff. It looks good in here, fits, so good stuff. I'm currently standing inside the car. So if you guys didn't watch our announcement video, I wanted to go over just kind of the overall plan with this car. We're building it for Formula Drift Japan. We're doing a sequential transmission. Then we're gonna do a winner's quick change, built as well. WiseFab front, WiseFab rear. So basically, at this point, we need to stitch weld the chassis, finish doing cuts. We're waiting on a couple things, and then we can start doing kind of the major fabrication. Again, like fuel cell mounted, nitrous bottle, radiator, oil cooler, kind of all that crap and corruption. Next episode, you guys will see a lot of that. There'll be a lot more that kind of goes on. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and HaugenRacing.com. We got a bunch of merchandise on there. Your subscription and watching our videos helps a ton. The next upload on this will probably be in like 2 weeks. Stay tuned for that. Let me know what you guys liked, what you didn't like as well. All right, peace.